Okay, so it's really lovely to see so many of you today. I haven't really had a chance to catch up with many students, well, certainly hardly any students, and not many staff either, actually. But it's particularly lovely to see students this afternoon. Um, and to have this event going ahead. It's a very, very different way of working and getting together. I expect you've all got quite Zoom savvy. I'm finding it quite an intense way of working, but it's got some pluses, I suppose. We don't have to leave our homes. I hope you're, having said that, I hope you're surviving in lockdown. We've just heard from Mitesh, I think, that he's got himself a routine together and he's coping well in lockdown. I'm looking forward to the stage when I can make an unnecessary journey. I hope that comes up soon. And I know some people have been suffering with coronavirus, or have relatives who have been, or are looking after relatives who are vulnerable. And I know that brings extra pressure and stress, and I hope you're doing okay. Remember, all students, we're here to support you, so keep us informed of what's going on and any pressures that you have. This is always a brilliant event. It's a positive event. It's a forward-looking event. We're very eager to support you in your careers going forwards. And we've got lots of ways of doing that, and you'll be finding out about those this afternoon. I attended an event earlier in the year, which was also quite well attended by students, looking at careers and ways forward for you with your degree. And this is another opportunity, I think, for you to do that. I know that Debbie Saybrook is going to come and talk later on, and she was going to be talking about the different MA courses we run next year, and we're very eager for any of you to sign up to those if you're in year 3, and to become informed about them if you're not in year 3 but think you might be interested in doing an MA going forward. Yes, so I hope you have a brilliant afternoon. I know I've seen some of the materials. They look really interesting. There's already a whole host of people here who I think can answer some very interesting questions. So pick people's brains and enjoy the afternoon. I know there's a lot of fun aspects. There's some awards. I always enjoy this afternoon. I'm really sorry I can't stay for the whole lot of it. I've been called to another meeting. If I can get out of it, I will come back. And that's all I want to say for now, Mona. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Sarah. It's always lovely to be able to launch the event formally and have students meet with more of the senior management, as well as our other support staff who are very valuable to us. And so I really would like to have an opportunity to say welcome again to everyone, and thank you again, Sarah. And to just briefly share with you the screen about today's event. Bear with me, try and do this as smoothly as possible. So I'm hoping you can see that. So that's really what this is all about. It's to spotlight the program, spotlight our students, and to give you guys an opportunity to speak with staff and learn more about the program and beyond the program as well. Can you see? I hope you can see this. And what I would like to also do, as you have been doing already, is to invite you to pop in comments and questions in the chat. It's 2 hours long, the event, but I think what we'll find is there may not be a lot of time to have too much interaction with questions. And as I'm recording this, I will save the questions as well from the chat. So if there isn't an opportunity to reply specifically in this session, I hope that we can follow it up outside of the session as well. So the outline is, we've started already, but we're going to spend a little time with our program administrator, Georgia Darby, with our librarian, Marion Brown, and Sophie Cutforth, our student wellbeing officer. And then we'll go to our heads of year for year 2 and year 3 for next year. And year 3 currently, I would really urge you to hang in there and be a part of the event, because you have a segment as well. So there is something for everyone. And we have we have Carmen from Careers who will be with us. I think Julie also is attending the meeting from Careers. So there's something about what you might be wanting to think about after the degree, and this relates to all students. There's also a segment on postgraduate courses, as Sarah's already intimated, and I'm really pleased and grateful that Debbie is here from the postgraduate master's program. And we have also Stephanie Laird joining us from the postgraduate certificate in education for primary education. And Carmen from Careers has a segment there as well. Dalvia is also wasn't able to come for this session because there was a clash with meetings, but I think Debbie will cover all the MAs that we're offering in that package, or a suite of MAs. And then we have a segment about student scholarships, and so that's something that's exciting, and Wolfgang is going to just tease us a little bit about that. And I don't know why something has just sort of come up on there, but there we go. All right. And then we have a special section at the end where we want to just finish off on a high. If you haven't been excited and feeling, you know, that the event has already sort of taken you to a situation where you're feeling warm and fuzzy and also motivated, not just because you're seeing each other, which is really fantastic, but also thinking about the steps that you might want to consider moving forward. So if I can, I would like to ask we can carry on with the section that is from 2 till 2:30, and I shall try to keep my my eye on the time as well. So I'll stop sharing this, and I would invite the our program administrator. So if I could invite Georgia, would you like to speak at this point?
Yeah, that's fine.
And I can share the document that you want to mention as well.
Yeah.
When you're ready.
So, hi, I'm Georgia. I've seen some students, I've not been in contact with some, but just in case a lot of you don't know who I am, I'm the program administrator for BA Education Studies. I'm just kind of here to just highlight, if you have any questions about MITCERCs, or you don't know who to go to for certain things, we've put together a FAQ information guide for students. I've posted it to Moodle just before this event. It takes about half an hour to come up on the site. So I'd say by 3 it should be on Moodle. It has just general queries that students usually have for MITCERCs, submission dates, deadlines, if they have resits, if they deferred from the previous autumn semester. All the information's kind of in that guide. I don't know what else to say.
That's fine. I'm just trying to share it at the moment.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
Just trying to share that so that students can see it. It's not quite coming up, it seems, on there. Maybe if I just move it to screen.
I have it nearby. Do you want me to share it?
That would be very helpful. Thank you. I'm not sure why mine isn't sharing the document.
Okay.
Please do, Carolina. Please share it.
Yep.
So while that's going up, I'll just make a general statement about MITCERCs. I know the rules on applying for MITCERCs have changed. So I know that some students are used to applying and then sending the evidence and the form to the department inbox. Now you don't need to do that. If you apply on the portal, then that's fine. That's all you need to do. I run a report every day, so I see all the MITSERCs that come in, and then I send it to the panel to approve, and then I get it back, and then I approve it on the portal. So students don't need to send their forms or evidence to the inbox as before.
So just to recap then, they just need to go to the student portal and complete the form and send it off to you?
Well, just
to the email that's on there?
No, they don't send it to any email. They just apply for the MITSERCs on the portal, and then
on the
that's
portal. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They won't need to send it to the inbox anymore because I run a report.
Okay, so we are behind the scenes monitoring all student queries and applications, and Georgia's very much at the forefront of that, as she said. The document that Carolina is sharing with you is an infogram that we've put together to help you to sort of field any queries that you have appropriately to the right sources, hopefully to also motivate you to think about where you're at, and if you have any questions that you have that might be responded to on the documents, to save you feeling added worry or confusion. But if there is anything on that we've kind of put this together based on what we've experienced from the past, from students' experiences, and hopefully this will be helpful for you and ease the worry of who to get in touch when you have specific questions. Okay, so that is up on Moodle as Georgia has mentioned. Thank you so much, Georgia, and thank you, Carolina, for the creative element of putting this infogram together. It's really been a great collaborative effort. So thanks very much. Okay, so thank you very much, Georgia. Marion, library.
Hello. Hi, everyone. So for those of you that don't know me, I mean, all of the academics should know me. My name is Marion Brown. I'm the Academic Engagement Librarian for Education. So I support all your lovely academics in helping to get information to you and helping them with their teaching. The Academic Achievement Team are the team that support all of the students. And what I just wanted to do was just to highlight some of the recent changes that have been put in place and make sure you're aware of all of the support that's available to you. So I'm just going to share my screen of the library homepage. So hopefully you are familiar with the library homepage. You've got the search box there to search the library catalogue. What I did want to highlight is something that launched on Monday, which is on the right-hand side, which is the library system status. So this is a really nice, quick and easy way for us to highlight to all of our users what resources are working as normal and what resources we've got either scheduled maintenance or we know that there's an issue with it. So if you look at this, you can see at a quick glance that at the moment we've currently got an ongoing issue with eBook Central. So you can click on the link and it gives you information as to what the problems are, and whether there's a workaround. And once it's been fixed, this will also get updated so you know when it's all up and running again. Because I'm sure all of you have been in situations where you've gone onto a resource and it's not working the way that you think it should do, and you're not sure if it's you or you're not sure if it's actually a known problem. So this is a way for us to show you and for you to be able to check yourself. So under online resources, we've currently got a complete list of all of the different resources that we have within the library, and any problems, it automatically jumps that resource up to the top of the screen, so you don't have to scroll through all of it. So that was the first thing that I wanted to highlight. The second thing to highlight is just your subject resources. I know Marina's very good at sharing that on your program site, but just in case you weren't aware of it, you do have a dedicated education subject guide. The top section is currently all of our temporary resources that our publishers have kindly made available for us during this challenging time, but underneath you still have all of our current subscriptions that you can access through here. So it's split into full text databases and then also videos, images and sounds as well. The other new thing on this page is this button here on the left hand side. So this is for the academic achievement team. They now have online bookings. So if you wanted to book an appointment with either one of the advisors that deals with academic writing, study skills and dissertations, the librarians or the statistics advisor, then you can do it through this option here and you'll be sent a link to attend your online appointments. One other thing that we've recently added is a how-to section. So this is where we are trying to collect together all the training that we have available or that we ourselves have created on using our various resources. So we currently have a 3-part tutorial on planning your research, which is actually education specific. And then we've also pulled together some of the training materials from various databases that you are likely to be using as part of your research, so you can get an idea about how to make the most of them. The other thing I wanted to highlight was we do currently have a coronavirus library frequently asked questions here as well. If you wanted to give feedback on our new library management system, so we're going to be getting a brand new library management system on the 1st of July. It is very pretty. It will look a lot less clunky than our current system, so I'm very excited for that. What we're asking for at the moment is just feedback from staff and students as to how you want it laid out based on how you go about doing your searching and what makes sense to you. So you can do it through this link here as well. And the final thing is our workshops. So on the right hand side here, you can have a look at not only the drop-ins that I just mentioned, but also the workshops. At the moment, if you are to type webinar into the search box, it will highlight some of the webinars that are coming up over the next couple of weeks that you can sign up to as well. All of these are being recorded, so they will be uploaded onto the Learning Skills Hub on Moodle and also onto our online study kits when they're available, and I will be circulating it with your academics once that's up and running as well. So that was the main thing from me. I don't know if anyone has any questions that I can try and answer now or find out an answer for you. No?
No, I think maybe we can post some questions at the side and then we can filter through those later on. But thank you so much, Marion. Gosh, there's lots of new things that that are there for everyone to get help with, and it looks very exciting. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Last but not least, Sophie, our Student Wellbeing Officer.
Hello everyone. I don't have any slides to share, sorry, so it's just me talking. Prepared as always. I just want to say hello to everyone. I understand it's been difficult times and you're likely to have been affected because we're all having to change our routines and the way we work. So firstly, as a side note, just to make you aware that the Hardship Fund is still open for student finance, and that's open to all students now. So even if you weren't eligible before, if there are exceptional circumstances, it will still be considered by the university. So please do apply for the funding. It's a free grant, so you don't have to pay them back. And that's there if you need it. If you need any other details on it or you're not sure, just send me an email and I can talk you through the process. In terms of wellbeing support, obviously I'm still here at home, but I'm still providing wellbeing support, as are our counselling team and our mental health advisors. So we're providing support through Skype, Zoom or phone, or email, depending on what you guys want. So please do use us if you're finding it really difficult to kind of shift any avoidance behaviours like procrastination, there's personal things going on, anything, then please do reach out and let us know. Our counselling and mental health advisor waiting list is actually decreased for this time of year. So if you are thinking about counselling, it's quite a good time to refer yourself because the waiting list is for this time of year, you're going to be seen a lot quicker than you would normally, which is fantastic. Also, we have our listening service being run through the chaplaincy. So if you don't want that kind of formal support, like counts from a formal counsellor, the chaplaincy are running kind of informal listening support for things like bereavement, relationship difficulties, and those kind of things. We're also running support sessions Monday, Wednesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. on Zoom. They're led by our mental health first aid trainer, Colin, who's fantastic. And those sessions are kind of managing remote working, so reducing anxiety, stress, maximising productivity, self-care practices, so kind of more practical techniques you can put in place. So please do sign up to those. If you need any more information, email me. And we're also doing 30-minute mindfulness for students on Wednesdays at 1:30, run by our mindfulness practitioner, Shrinker. So they're every Wednesday at 1:30, and that's via Zoom as well. I think that's it from me.
Sophie, that's fabulous. Where can we just direct students to how they can access that? Because those sessions that you've mentioned, do they just go to the website, student portal?
They're on the Support for All website, which before I came onto this, I tried to find via the normal website, and I don't know how you actually find it, but I've got the link. So shall I email you the link, and then maybe you could put that on Moodle?
Yes, or maybe you could put it in this chat for now.
I'm on my mobile, so.
Oh, okay. Then
sorry.
Email me and I'll put it up. That's perfect.
Fantastic.
That's fine. Thank you so much.
No problem. If anyone has any questions, my details are on student support portal under student support, and then Wellbeing. So my phone number and my email address is on there, so you can call me and I should be able to pick up or leave a voicemail, or email me if there's any further questions. And I'm going to have to run, unfortunately, but thank you for having me.
That's great. Thank you so much, Sophie.
No problem. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, Sophie. And Sophie also is on the program site on Moodle as well. Details about student wellbeing are also there, just for information. Okay, moving on to the next segment, conscious of time. We have module selection. Now, I have actually got the site open for Moodle. If heads of year want to share, that's fine. But this is the segment now where we can just flag up and put the spotlight on Moodle where students can find the information. Okay. So for next year's 2, this is you guys year 1 and current year 2. You can tap in some things into the comments if you want to help and support your colleagues as well. Melissa, do you want to show the year 2 modules for next year?
Hello, everybody. Okay, so I don't have it on my screen, but I can describe where it's gone up. So in the BA portal, you would find, not the British airline, although they are working with the NHS now, which is lovely. Long story. If you go into the BA portal, you will be able to see, if you scroll down to the year 1 site, a video clip. So it's a YouTube video that goes through with the voices of each of the module conveners, giving you some detailed information on a bit of a taster on what to expect with each of the modules. And some readings are up there, and it's all done like in under a minute. So they had a little bit of a challenge. It's really nice to hear them detail what you will learn. So it's about with what's compulsory and what are some choices. And for all the year 1 students, that link is also available because it's via my YouTube channel. So where you've been getting all of your lecture uploads, it's also there under year 2 modules. Hopefully that covers it.
Okay, yes, it is a link.
Did you find it? I can try and find it.
Yes, I've just
Then
realized
share.
I've got quite a few things open which might explain why I can't actually, just bear with me a sec. inbox. I wonder if that's it. Sorry.
I can actually.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there you
I
go.
think I've got it. Have I?
Yes.
Can you see it now?
Yes. So
Can you see that?
if
as
you
I'm
go up,
scrolling?
yeah, we can see
Up.
that screen.
So here's the so this connection here, right?
Yeah, if you click on it, it should immediately just open into a little bubble.
So for year one, you go to your year one section on the program site on Moodle. You click on this link, and I think we hear someone straight away, don't we?
The world, we can see that they're characterized by inequalities.
Do you recognize the voice? That was a bit of a teaser. I'm not going to play the rest because I think you ought to go to the site and click on the link. But it is, as Melissa says, goes through all the modules, the compulsory ones and the optional ones. Okay. Did you want to say anything further, Melissa?
I think, can you hear me? Yeah. No, I think hopefully it should be okay there. If you do have questions, you could post it right there on the chat site, and I can bring it back to the module conveners, or you could contact the module conveners, I assume, or just get in touch. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
No worries.
So as you can see, there's one slide per module, and there's a recording on each slide from each module convener. Okay. Oh, look. And don't judge us on our slides. Some are more colorful than others, but you know, you get all the information in a minute, or just a little over a minute. So it's bite-sized. Hopefully you'll find this helpful. If you've got anything you want to add, please add it to the chat now, or you can contact module conveners as well. And there are module conveners present in this event too. So it's your opportunity to talk and chat with them. Thank you so much, Melissa. Shirley, would you like to share? Say something. You can unmute yourself. Ooh. I'll unmute you. There you go. I hope. Hold on a sec.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey. So sorry.
The technology. Yeah, okay, so I've done it slightly differently. So you can see there the first PowerPoint where it says choosing your modules for year 3, information and module descriptions. Everything is there. So it goes through PowerPoints and there's a voiceover, and then it's got one slide per module. I've also put up the modules individually in case you just want to go back to a module and have a quick look without going through the whole PowerPoint slide. But everything is there, the same as Melissa said. It's module in a minute, so very brief. It gives you some reading. It gives you the module convener who you can contact if you've got any more questions, or of course you can contact me at any time.
That's fantastic. Do you want me to do a teaser and open one of them up?
Oh, why not? Open yours up.
Oh, no.
Open yours up, Mila. There you go.
Now, where am I? There we go.
You're there because it's in alphabetical order. Oh, you could do that one. I don't mind. There.
This one. Oh,
yeah, that's you.
Okay. All right. Not sure if you can see.
Is that happening? No.
Well, it means I have to go back.
You need to share another screen. So you're sharing your browser now. So you'll have to unshare this and share PowerPoint.
Thank you very much.
How many modules you pick, it actually tells you on the slides how many you pick. If you have a look at the slides, the information, it tells you exactly what you pick. So you've got some that are compulsory for year 3 and some that are options, and it tells you what you do there. So if you check out the slides and go through them, then it gives you all of that information. So I'm just responding to a question that was on the chat.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you, Shirley, for checking. And if other tutors see questions that they'd like to respond to, please go ahead. As you see, there's a little, whatever that is, a sort of...
Yeah, if you click on that, you get the voiceover. So some of the slides have got a little microphone, but some of them just come straight on.
Let's do another one. Go with... See, I'm trying to get the hang of trying to get things done quicker. Bear with me. So,
can I just say to people who are choosing for year 3, it's really important, if it tells you that the module is full, it means it is full. You can't override the system, but all of the optional modules are available in both semesters, so you should all be able to get what you want.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you, Shirley. I'm not quite sure what I have just done. I was trying to share a slide and it's, yeah, confusing me. Right, okay. So, let me just see where we are. Okay, so forgive me for not being more smooth in my links, but I'll do my best. Right. Okay, so thank you very much, Shirley. That's really helpful. Shall we go to any questions that are in the chat? Are there any questions in the chat? Oh, now I can see. Thank you.
Sorry, there was a question about it opens on the 20th. Yes, it does. It opens at midday on the 20th.
Yes.
And that's in the PowerPoint slides as well. And it also tells you, that's at the end, the last slide of the information, it tells you when online module selection closes. So after that, you know, you need to make your choices before it closes, basically.
Yeah. And I think isn't that the sort of 19th of June?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, at 5 o'clock.
Yes. And you can always contact heads of year and ask them if you've got queries. You can also leave notes on the allocator system if there's something in particular that you would like to be noted. And heads of year and I and the administrator will look at, Georgia will look at the notes. Mainly heads of year will look at notes and respond, taking into consideration everybody's needs and requests. Okay, thank you so much, Shirley. That takes us, I think, I hope, to the next segment almost. But as you see, I hope it's clear for year 1 and year 2 what your module selections, the information about module selection, and then the process is something also which is there as well to inform you. You should get the information when everything's live and that you have access. So there'll be confirmation of that comes to you, and you'll find out how to access the facility of making the choices. And there'll be drop-down menus. You have to choose select your compulsory modules and then your optional modules, and that'll be stored on the database. And someone will look at that, and your timetable is generated from that. Okay, thank you again. I just want to move then to the next section. And here we have Debbie, and is Steph with us? I can't quite see her, but she might join us a little bit later. And then we have also Carmen from Careers as well. So Debbie? Let me just see where we are. Are you there, Debbie? I know she was there a little while ago. Carmen? Well, blow me down. They're not there. I just realized I'm recording and I'm recording everything I'm saying. Sorry. Okay. Okay, well, I do have a slide from Carmen. I don't really want to present on her behalf without her here. Julie, do you want to do this?
If you could put, if you could put the slide up for me, because I don't have it on my desktop.
No,
I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you.
No worries.
Okay.
Okay. So would you mind putting it on the first slide, Mina, if that's okay?
Absolutely. Perfect. Brilliant. All right. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, that's brilliant. So just to say, I hope you're well, everybody. It's lovely to see you all the students and staff. So obviously we're normally in that building that you can see on your screens right now, Elm Grove, but we're all working from home. In fact, we're busier than ever at the moment. So if you could just change to the next slide, everything that we're offering at the moment in terms of careers and work experience is being offered through virtually. So students can access a quick chat via Career Link, which students can access through the student portal and straight onto Career Link with their normal username and password. The Career Link is open daily from 11 till 4, and they can ask any questions at all. So they're for quick questions. But students can also book appointments, which the careers advisors can offer remotely, and we're using Zoom for that. And so we've got a series of appointments that students can book on Career Link, and they are happening on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. That's careers advice, but we can also offer mock interviews, we can check personal statements, things like that, and we can also advise students about industries and specific jobs related to the degrees. Now, I must say that one of the attractive things for students at the moment is a new professional bursary that has been advertised on social media. So in the last month or 2 months, the professional bursary was open to students and prioritised for those in receipt of the higher maintenance loan. This was £250 that students could request via an application form, and now it's gone up to £500. So this is to help students that might be going for an interview, for example, or that need to buy some kind of technical software in order to be able to have an interview online, or anything, or any kind of course, anything that's going to enhance their professional development in any way. So if you just like to move to the next slide, if that's okay. So this is how we're available. So we've got the live chat, as I said, Monday to Friday, 11 till 4. We've got the bookable video appointments. That's careers advice, work experience and placements. Team are also offering those. We've got mock interviews if there are any students that are interested in just trying out the mock interviews. If students want to ask any specific questions or book an appointment and they are not on Career Link, they can simply do that by emailing careers@roehampton.ac.uk, and a careers advisor should respond to you very quickly. 48 hours is absolute max. Could you just move to the next slide, if that's all right? So everything, as I said, is on Career Link. On Career Link, we've got an interview simulator. We've got there are employers still recruiting at the moment. Lots of schools are recruiting at the moment, which we put out on social media as well. So careers have a Facebook account, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram and LinkedIn. So we put things out on there. Next slide, if that's all right.
Yeah.
So to access the online career link, all students need to do is go to the student portal, and you've got a 2 weekly newsletter that goes out. You can do the Chancellor's Careers Award if you've got time. Lots and lots of resources on there, including a CV builder, cover letter builder, But what we do say is that if you do use the CV Builder, then just check in with the careers advisor afterwards, because they can really provide you with more personalised support that's obviously going to help with any job interviews or any applications being made. So just going on to the next slide quickly. That's it really. So that's us. Please do look out for our Twitter account, our Instagram, our Facebook, and we are delighted to hear from students. We've got a summer careers programme that we are offering from this week until the end of June. And as part of that, there are lots of webinars happening that the careers advisors are delivering. We've got work experience, we've got virtual internships that are available to students that are paid with local companies. So please, there are lots of opportunities still available for students, and we really want to hear from you. So please do have a look at our summer careers programme, and the times, dates, and everything that's going on from now to the end of June is all on there. And that's it, pretty much.
Thank you very much, Julie.
No problem at all.
That's great. And I've also shared the summer careers programme. I hope that you can see that document, and we'll put that up on Moodle as well.
I can send links around as well.
Yeah, no problem. I think we've had them shared, but do share again, and I'll make sure it goes up on Moodle.
Thank you, Mina.
Thank you very much, Julie. Thank you. Okay, so far so good. If you're in year 2 currently, you should know about the UR Careers link, and that should be fine. Carmen, you're there. Sorry, I just see you now. Thank you for joining us. So Carmen, maybe if you have some questions for Carmen from the Careers Hub, you can post them in the chat next to the kind of images that you see there. So it's good to have you here. Is Debbie here with us? I don't know what's happened. I think because we're kind of ahead of schedule, maybe. That might be what it is, because she was there at the beginning. And Carolina has put a comment in there about career services. So even staff, and I can recommend that too, because we've had students as alumni who've come back and they've used the services as well.
Me?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah. I always forget that some of us are alumni, you know, that's it's good to be reminded.
They've been very helpful. They helped me write an academic CV, which I've never done before because I was not an academic before. And I had a mock interview as well, and they gave me lots of leaflets of things for me to take a look at when searching for a post and so on. So they've been really, really resourceful. And the good thing is that you get this service for life. So even after you're long gone from the university, you can come back.
That's fabulous, and it is really it is wonderful, a wonderful service to have available to students. Okay, the next item was the MA programs, but I think what I'm going to do is see if something has happened, that we've got disconnected from our staff who were meant to be here from the MA program. So I'll chase that up and see if I can do that. While perhaps Wolfgang, are you there? Do you want to do your segment?
I can gladly do so. So let me just, take over. And forgive me, everybody. Hey, this is Wolfgang. Wolfgang Mann. Forgive me for not showing my face. It's not that my room is not tidy, but I just want to avoid that there are problems with me having freezing moments because of the internet connections. So let me share my screen.
I have yeah. Can you do
that?
Did
you? No, right now I think I have your screen. Let me just see. I have your screen. So can you give me power?
I can stop sharing. No, you have power.
I have power. Okay.
You do. You can share your slides. Right, I'm sure you can.
Slide action. Let's see if I can.
I do have it. If you
here.
need to share it.
Okay. Yeah. Here. No.
Have you got it?
Okay.
Excellent.
That's a bit. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just, whoops, now it jumped all the way. I jumped to the end, and of course, you start at the beginning. Okay, once again, here, Wolfgang Mann, I teach some modules. I teach the research methods module in year 2, and then also the special inclusive education in year 3. And on top of that, I'm also the university lead to represent Roehampton as part of SENSE, and I get to that in a moment. So I just want to talk to you, let you know on, give you some basic information about studentships, in case you ever wondered, is there financial support of any means if you plan to continue with your studies. So let's get started. So the question here is for those of you who have entertained the idea, perhaps the year 1 students, it's a little bit too far in the future from you, but year 2, you may have considered the idea, maybe further pursuing your studies to go after a master's, and who knows, maybe even a PhD. I hope that some of those who are currently taking the research methods module feel perhaps inspired and or at least have an increased level of curiosity, that they say, hey, I kind of like this, to use analysis and then, you know, try to interpret data. So if you feel this suits you, you are that kind of person, then it might be definitely worthwhile to think about it. And what's even better, if somebody else picks up the tab, what's to lose? So I think it could be a win-win situation in the best possible case scenarios. But let me just, before we go on, let me just tell those now, before you start running, you know, knocking down the door to my office, even though we cannot come to the office at the moment, it involves a lot of work. They don't give away money for free. So just be aware, if you think, yeah, I could see myself doing a PhD perhaps, it will involve a certain level of work in order to put together the application. And also it should be a project, because you're asked to suggest a project that you would become your PhD project, that would make a strong case for somebody to give you a lot of money and then to fund that project. Okay, so once again, the idea is, why not continue your studies and not have to worry about the finances that come along? So that brings us to SENSE. SENSE is a doctoral training partnership between Roehampton and 9 other universities. SENSE stands for Southeast Network for Social Science. I included the SENSE webpage. You can find lots of more information. This is just to put it on your radar. So SENSE, that is the name of the partnerships that Roehampton represent. That I'm the representative of the University of Roehampton. And once again, it's a doctoral training partnership. So there's a lot of emphasis on training, research training in particular. So they're really, on top of their agenda is to help students to fine tune and further hone their research skills. So that's why I brought up research methods. If you enjoyed Melissa's research module during year 1, and you're currently taking research methods or took it last year and you're now in year 3, and you really enjoyed it and you feel you have a good project, then it might be worthwhile considering this studentship that SENSE offers, and then further developing or building on the project that you used for your dissertation. Again, this is just FYI, other than Roehampton, there is Essex, City University of London, University of East Anglia. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but we are in good company. So the great thing, one of the great things about the studentship is, once you get a studentship, it would allow you to also take training that is provided by any of the other partner universities. So you would not be limited to taking classes at Roehampton, but you would also, the door would be open to that community, to that academic community of the partner university. So that's a really nice, opportunity to have for those who are interested and can wholeheartly confess and agree that they enjoy running analysis and interpreting data, collecting data, and all these activities that come along with research. I know and I appreciate that not all of you will be that type of person, but if there are, I don't know, a handful, then by all means, do come forward. If you're currently in year 2, you're working on your research proposal, you will soon enough, you will get some feedback and a mark on your research proposal, and that would be a good indicator. Is that a project that not just you, but also your tutor considers a really strong project and the way you described it. So that might help you with a decision, oh, is that something that might be worthwhile bringing up in a conversation with me or with your year 3 dissertation supervisors. So once again, just briefly, there are 13 pathways, and Roehampton has 2 pathways for which they SENS provides studentships. One is in education and the other one in social anthropology. Just my last slide to give you an idea what it's about. There are 2 schemes of studentships. One is for 1+3, and that is for students who come straight from their bachelor's. And then the +3, that is for students who already have a master's. So as you can see, if you come from a bachelor, then the time to complete this, your PhD doctoralship, it takes round about 4 years. So in the first year, you basically get your master's, and then you continue with your PhD studies. So you get 2 for the price of 1 if you want, and somebody else pays. So what's not to like? Just to give you a flavor of what is expected, other than a good project that is timely and also is attractive enough to be funded, you should have qualifications, in your case, rather than professional experience, and the equivalent to a first or upper second class honors degree. So it's a highly competitive, because everybody likes somebody else to pay for their studies. So therefore, that's why I said, it might help if you feel that your research methods proposal got a high grade and people said, oh, that's a really good project, and you feel very strong about it, or you're in year 3 and in conversation with your dissertation supervisor, everybody felt very happy and very strong about your project. Then by all means, do talk to your supervisor, mention this and the idea of, turning it into a master's PhD study, or talk to me if you want to chat about SENS. I gave you, on a final note, another link that links directly to the page within the SENS webpage that talks about this particular student-led studentship. If you're just curious now and you want to learn a little bit more specific how that would look like, what the timeline for the application, etc., etc. But the purpose of these my slides was just to put it on your radar. Again, for those of you who consider maybe academia, that's a way for you to go, then please be aware there is a studentship. So there is a way to get somebody else to pay for you. There is some work involved, but we are more than happy, either myself or your dissertation supervisor, to work with you on that and help you prepare the application. So that's all for me. Unless there are any question, I would hand it back to Muna.
Thank you so much, Wolfgang. So you can see we want to support you in every which way possible and help, to get the motivation there, and we're ambitious for you, and we want to make sure that you've got all the information that you need in time. Thinking about moving on and further degrees and further study, I'm really pleased that Debbie and Steph are now joined in the event, and I'm going to invite Debbie to speak next, and then after Debbie, Stephanie Laird. Steph will speak about PGC primary. Thank you so much, Debbie.
Thank you. It's really nice to see you all. It's nice to actually see people, and I wish I could be in a room with you all. I'm kind of missing human company at this point. My role at the University of Roehampton is as the head of postgraduate learning. So I'm going to speak to you about the opportunities we have regarding our postgraduate courses. And I'm going to leave the teacher training side of postgraduate courses to Steph Laird and to those on the PGCE programs, because those aren't the ones I will specifically talk about. So we have a number of postgraduate courses here at Roehampton, and you may not have thought about postgraduate study, or you may have thought about it and said, well, this is something in my future, and maybe that's what I'll do someday. Well, one of the nice things is that you could consider that someday now. Okay, when you complete your degree, you may think, actually, I really enjoyed my study and I'd really like to go a bit further with it. or I'm really not sure if I want to continue on this path. I think I need more knowledge around education, or I need more knowledge around early childhood studies. So I want to take an extra degree. I want to do an MA in this. Or maybe you're somebody who likes research and you really are interested in researching in these areas. So the options that we have that are probably best suited for you at the end of your BA program are two courses. One is the MA in Education Studies, and the other is the MA in Early Childhood Studies. And I'll talk to both, but to explain that our postgraduate courses are modular courses. So you need 180 credits to graduate, and you normally attain those 180 credits by taking a series of modules. The last series of modules, 60 credits, are your dissertation. So if we look at the MA in Education Studies, that is a broad-based MA that allows you to study around the topic of education. It's not necessarily about teacher training. It's not necessarily about schools. It can look at education quite broadly. You take one compulsory module, which is something called Power in Education and Society, which looks at the power dynamics of how policy is made and how we conceptualize or kind of think about society. And then you have pretty much free choice from that point on, with the exception of your research methods module and your dissertation. So you can take up to 2 modules from the Early Childhood Studies course. You can take 2 modules in the Leadership and Management course, or you could take 2 modules in the Inclusion, SEN, and Disability course. So you can really chart your way in a variety of paths in order to gain a sort of broad brush idea or understanding of education studies. Research methods probably deepens your already baseline understanding of research methods that you've done for your dissertation. And then your dissertation is a larger scale project where you focus on something that you're quite passionate about. On the other hand, you have early childhood studies, which has the same modular approach, but there is less choice in terms of your modules. So all of the modules come from the early childhood course, and they focus on things like Froebelian principles and legacy, the roots of well-being, perspectives on early childhood education. The idea is to get you to the point of being a real expert in early childhood education, knowing the ins and outs, the debates around early childhood education. And again, your dissertation is focused on an area of early childhood education that you are really passionate about. You shouldn't be doing a dissertation that you're not interested in. It should be something you're passionate about, that you're eager to learn about, and that you want to research. If those 2 aren't your areas, and you say, well, actually, I kind of need a break. I need maybe a year off, and then I'll come back, or 2 years. Then we do have other options there. We have a course called Inclusion or Inclusive Education, SEN and Disability. You have the Education, Leadership and Management course, and you also have the Social Research Methods course. And all of those courses really ask that you have 2 years of practical experience in your field. So that's why I'm not really highlighting them today, but I'm kind of giving you this idea that they are available and you could come back in time if that is what you wanted to do. Now, the nice part about coming back to Roehampton is that it probably feels like home to you. And that's always nice, because most of the people will talk about Roehampton as being a community and a community of learning. Second really nice thing about coming back to Roehampton is that when you graduate, you are an alum. And alumna get a discount for studying with us. So it's slightly cheaper to get that MA, okay? If you're looking for full-time study for an MA, then you can do that in a year. which may mean that when you go into the job market, you have more skills, perhaps a stronger understanding of the field that you're studying, and perhaps have a leg up or an advantage that other applicants don't have, okay? If you're saying, actually, I've done the full-time study and I really want to do part-time study, that's also available. But part-time study will take longer. It will take between 2 and 4 years to complete. But you do that at your own pace. So I've kind of gone through this very quickly, and I'm probably not the world's best salesman in these things. But I'm happy to answer questions that people have. And I'm also, I might say that I'm very bad at Zoom meetings. So if you want to ask a question, just raise your hand somehow and I'll find it.
Okay, that's wonderful. It also gives a very good sense of, you know, how students who may want to take time off from study but return to study can think about and reflect about a future course of planning that they can be thinking about now, actually, and preparing for. And so that's really helpful. Thank you very much, Debbie. I think you've covered quite a few markers that have been very informative. If you have questions and you don't really want to raise your hand, please do use the chat in the side, and I'll try to monitor it as we're going along.
Can I raise my hand?
Sorry, Sue. Yes, go ahead.
I only wanted to say, and obviously, you know, I know a little bit about the MA already from hearing Debbie talk about it, but the thing that really struck me about what you were saying is how it's structured so that students can choose their pathway through and follow up on the things that they're really interested in. And I think that is a really strong characteristic of the program. So, you know, if you're thinking, well, I was, you know, really interested in this particular aspect of inequalities or inclusion or policy or whatever it is, there would be a way through that MA to really structure your experience so that you were focusing on that, which I think is great. That's the luxury, in a way, of carrying on with your studies, isn't it? That's how I see it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sorry, did you want to add something, Debbie?
No, I would agree with that. I think the nice part, especially of the MA in Education Studies, is the ability to say, I don't want to do one particular area. I want to kind of look at several areas so that I know where my expertise will lie after this and where I can focus my dissertation. It is really an interesting course to take because of the choices that you can make.
It's almost like, you know, the BA is preparing you for swimming into the ocean, right? Because you've been in this wonderful swimming pool and enjoying the fun side of, and hopefully that you are enjoying and having fun in furthering your passion and your love for the field and learning more. And the MA just shows you how much further you can go. And certainly if you want to gain more experience so that you can look at other specialist areas, then Steph, I think this might be a nice time to bring you in terms of the professional practice element, how some of our students do choose to go on to gain that experience.
Okay, am I on mute?
Was that a nice segue? I don't know. But,
nice segue. I just want to apologise first of all because my neighbour has just started drilling. So if the drilling takes over the noise, I apologise. He's just chosen that moment to do so, but those are the times that we're living in. It's really nice to see your community and to see several faces that I do actually recognise from around university, and I think some of you have been to PGC primary open evenings already. So my role at Roehampton is I am the PGC primary and school direct primary programme convener, and last night I was doing an open evening, and we have had a huge webinar open evening recently. I'll try and be brief about the course today, but do feel free to ask questions. But there is the next PGC Open Evening is coming up on Wednesday the 20th of May. So you can sign up for that through the university website. And if you are interested in primary school teaching, then do attend that. And that will be, again, a live event where you can ask further questions. So the PGCE, you can apply for the PGCE with your degrees for the primary PGCE, because obviously in the primary school you'll be teaching all of the subjects. So we're open for applications from any degree background, but you need to have a 2-2 or above. You'll need to have GCSEs or equivalencies in English, maths and science, so that's grade C or above. We have just found out that if you did need to do those, obviously it's difficult to now at the moment with the current climate to go into any test centres or take exams, and the equivalency testing website are going to start doing tests virtually in a couple of weeks. So there is still a possibility that if you have conditions to meet, you will be able to meet those to be able to start in September. What I'm sure a lot of you have got experience from placements and work experience in primary schools or school settings, which will be invaluable for you to draw upon in interview. We are currently conducting interviews over Zoom. So I've got a whole Zoom afternoon lined up for Monday with prospective candidates. We have seen a surge in people wanting to come into primary education. You can figure out why. What you will get though from the course, it's a 1-year full-time course. It is a little bit different to doing an undergraduate course because you are expected to be in university Monday to Friday, 9 till 4 p.m. for taught sessions. So that's where you'll get all the subject input for all the foundation subjects, core subjects of the primary school, and preparation for your school placements. You'll be put into tutor groups at the beginning of the course, and you'll be given a group tutor who is responsible for your pathway and your protection throughout the year. And for the first 7 weeks of the autumn term, you'll be in Roehampton, as I say, having subject input, preparation for your first placement. The first placement will be for 7 weeks when you go out after the October school half term, and that takes you up to Christmas. And your role in school there is monitored by us. We provide week-by-week guidance. You have regular support from your Roehampton tutor, and you have a Roehampton tutor who will visit you to do observations. You start off observing the teacher, building up to working with small groups, reading a story, doing a bit of team teaching. And then by the end, you'll be taking 2 full days of your class with support from your class teacher. You then return to university after Christmas, and you're with us again till mid-March for more input, and then we send you out to schools that we place you in again for a 13-week placement. That placement starts off with you being the sharing teacher as your starting role and building up by about week 6, where you will be taking the class and be responsible with the teacher support for the planning, teaching and assessment of that class of children. So it is within a year. You will be starting 1st of September, finishing mid-July, and then you'll be qualified. And the PGC obviously gives you the qualified teacher status that you need to teach in a primary school, but you will also be gaining 60 credits at master's level from 3 assignments that you will do over the year. And those assignments are spaced out. So the first one is due in January, the second one after February half term, and the third one after Easter. And they all are practice-based. So they're linked to what you're doing in school and your practice, and you get to reflect on why you've chosen certain approaches for teaching, and you get to write the rationale and provide reflections on how well that has gone. It is I have to say, it's a fantastically supportive course. We are still working with our current students at the moment in sort of Zoom meetings and providing tasks for them to do whilst they're on their trajectory to gain QTS. I know there's uncertainty about what's going to happen if the schools don't go back. We can't answer that at the moment, but the plan is that we will be starting the course in September. If anything happens and you have any concerns, if you've been interviewed and accepted, you could always defer your place till the following year if anything cropped up. But we are planning to start in September, whether that has to be start with remote teaching, moving school placements around in the year, but we are looking at backup plans to make sure that people are qualified. Schools still need teachers, They still need people to go through teacher training. They still want people who are passionate about being in education. And I think we have taken a lot of people from your courses through the PGC route, and they've been very, very successful. And I'm sure you might know of some people who have been on your courses who are doing the PGC currently or even last year. So I'm sure some of those people will be happy to talk to you. But if you do have any questions, please do type them in the chat or raise hands, and I'll ask Mona to locate you on the Celebrity Squares board, as we keep calling it. And it is Celebrity Squares from the 1970s, isn't it? But only some of us will know about that. So, and as I say, the next PGC Open evening is on the 20th of May. So please do apply through the university website to be part of that webinar. We are recruiting probably until about mid-August. And our numbers are not capped, so don't panic. It's we have open numbers, so you can keep applying. It's whether you meet the criteria and if you can get through interview. I can see someone's put what time is the event. Yeah. It's going to be from 5 p.m. on the 20th.
Okay. All right. So we had a couple of questions. I think maybe you've answered them already about. For next year, what's the earliest and the latest you can apply?
Well, I say we're open now. We opened with UCAS mid-October. Okay. But if you wanted to apply for the year after, then again, we open mid-October through UCAS. And I say we won't be closing till about late August this year. Because we've got lots and lots of interviews lined up next week and every other week. We're holding interviews on Monday afternoons. But we can arrange different times on Zoom if that's inconvenient for you.
Super. And Debbie, did you want to say anything about application process? Scheduling?
The application process is sort of a rolling process. So if the application can be found on the university site, clearly the sooner you get your application in, the better it is for you, because you're then making plans. But we will take applications throughout the summer, generally through to the end of August.
Can I just add something, Mona?
Yeah. Yes.
In terms of the University Career Service is also on hand if anyone wants any support with writing their personal statements for UCAS. So thank you to Julie for offering that. Yes. So obviously there's lots of tips online about how to write a personal statement, but the University Career Service are there to support as well. And the key thing is to make sure that you choose your 2 referees carefully as well.
Oh, nice segue. And lovely segue there.
One of you lovely tutors, won't it?
Yeah, that was the next item, because as you saw in the chat, Carrie was saying, can we say something about references? And so in your third years amongst us, you will know that you have now, well, you would have been expected to, and I'm sure most all of you have developed relationships with your supervisors through the course of planning and writing your dissertation. And what we have strongly urged and encouraged students in year 3 is to approach, and this is important, and there is information on Moodle about how you approach asking your supervisor if they may act as your referee. It's really important to have that sort of let me put it this way, the etiquette and of the courtesy of asking before you finish completing your UCAS application and putting the details of a referee without your referee knowing about it. That does now and then occur, and it doesn't help the process. So it is very good to keep in touch with your supervisor and ask them if they would mind acting as your referee. And it's a better way of getting someone who's been involved with your work, and a substantive piece of work like the dissertation gives a good insight as to how you are preparing and able to take on future roles in education, and to be able to comment on your ability and your and we do only offer academic references. That's the other thing I want to add. Sometimes places of work ask for references from us, and we have to stress that we only provide academic references. And Carrie did put a very good informative piece of a document that has been developed and updated and uploaded onto Moodle. So please do consult that document, read it through. In your second year, if you're looking for references too, the same applies. Please, you don't have a dissertation supervisor, but you could ask your AGT or ask your head of year or a member of staff who knows you well. And bear in mind that we do get a lot of requests for references, and that's why we like to make sure that you know, that it's fair and students are supported well and appropriately. I don't know if Carrie, you wanted to add something else. I see there are some questions popping up in the chat. Was there anything else to add to that about references? I don't think so. Ariette, you have a question for PGC. Until when do we have to meet conditional entries for September 2020, Steph?
Okay, so currently it is before the start of the course. Okay, so you'd need to have passed any conditional exams or equivalency tests before the course starts. The government haven't changed any guidance on that as of yet. Okay, they might do, but it is, you know, all qualifications have to be passed before you can actually register for the PGCE to actually enrol.
That's very helpful, and I think that does reply to Sevda's question as well, doesn't it?
I saw that question. How many do you have? If you've got, you can apply
English, maths, and science, or 2 of the 3.
Yeah, if you've got 1, you can apply as long as you book in to do the other 2 as equivalencies, and there'll be conditions of entry.
Okay. I hope that's okay and clear for Sevda. Thank you. Mitesh has asked a question.
Yeah. Yes, it will be for secondary programs. Yes. So secondary, yeah, that open evening is primary and secondary, the one in May, and we've also booked in a further one for June, which is going to be June the 11th, which will just be, it'll be primary and secondary again. So we have got several webinars coming up.
Oh, that's fantastic. I can see Mitesh is smiling, so that's good. That's very good.
Very busy.
And Sevda says thank you, as does Ariette, as does Mitesh. Thank you very much. Julie's also popped up with another point that you see, there's so many very useful resources and bits of information for you here. You get a 20% discount. Ooh, gosh, look at that. Yeah.
They stay around.
Yeah, excellent. That's really good. Okay.
But could I just point out, there aren't any bursaries for primary, so it is all tuition fee, apart from if you've got A-level maths grade A, then you can do the PGC with an added maths specialism, which will give you a small bursary of around £6,000. But you do need to have grade A at A-level maths to do that for primary. But secondary subjects obviously have bursaries.
Okay, that's also very helpful to know. Thank you. Good, excellent. Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you, Steph. That's been really, really helpful. And I only wish when I was an undergrad, I had that input too. That's fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, so thank you so much. Thanks very much. Oh, look, can you apply to secondary PGC if you do not have specific training? Steph, can you answer that one?
I'll try.
Thank you.
You need to have some element of the subject that you want to teach within your degree. There are some subject knowledge enhancement courses that you can do called SKEs, but normally you need to have some form of that subject within your degree. If you've got any questions though, Ali Messer is the person that you could actually apply for, speak to. Primary school TA for 7 years would not give you the experience of doing a secondary PGC, I'm afraid. It has to be within your degree or subject knowledge enhancement courses. But Ali Messer is our head of secondary. So any questions about the secondary course, just contact Ali Messer. I think it's, let me just find her email for you whilst she's on here. It is I'll type it into the response.
Oh, thank you, Steph. Sorry, my keyboard's slipping, so that's fine.
I'll put Ali's.
Thank you very much. Okay, so is Richard still with us? He was a little while ago. Let me just check. think he might have left. If you are in the first year, just a little plug, and you are, oh, there he is. Hello, Richard. Okay, would you like to mention something about study abroad briefly before we go on to the next segment? I'll unmute you. Hold on a second. There you go.
I don't know whether study abroad options are available for years 2 and 3. I think they're only available to year 1 students.
Yes, that's right.
We might have some year 1s who are listening, so spread the word, year 2, if you do know any year 1s. Currently, we only have 2 students, and that was before lockdown, who are actually abroad at the moment for study abroad opportunities. Again, if anybody is interested or knows anybody in year 1 that might be interested, 2 options: either go onto the Roehampton website and pick up more information, or contact me by email, r.race@roehampton.ac.uk, as I remain your international champion.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That was a lovely, short and sweet plug, because year 1, you can have the option in the spring. And hopefully by that point, or certainly in the autumn, we might be able to see what the options are for study abroad and travel, if travel arrangements ease, and we can see what can happen as a result. Thank you very much, Julie.
Thanks, Julie, for sending that email message again. Yeah. I still think students should think about the possibility, when lockdown lifts, for 2021, because that opportunity should still be available, as it's part of the university package. So any year 1s who are interested, stay in touch, either with Study Abroad, the team, or myself.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Richard. Final segment, and last but not least, as they always say, and I'm going to try and find the document, which I think is here, and I will share this. This is the section from which we as a team do every year. So if you're not in year 1, then you will know about this. I'm hoping you can see this. Right. So as a team, every year we like to really, gosh, I don't know why it's gone into double. Print layout. Hello. Okay, let's just go back to that. I'm sorry. Okay, so every year we like to, as a team, acknowledge students. And I just was going to say at the start of this, I am going to invite Sue as our head of undergraduate teaching to call out the names, and then at the very end, I think it would be really nice if we can show our appreciation and just congratulate each other, whether that's through hands up in the air or however you want to do it, because this is really what it's also about, is to try and acknowledge people who we do get to know and we want to notice, and if you want to nominate people too, you can do that as well, and I'm more than happy to put the list up for everyone to see, and in the future have something. Every year we do certificates, so I can't give that to you right now, but I can certainly make arrangements to make those available for people you would like to nominate, as well as those that are mentioned here. And so I wanted to say really at the beginning that we are, these are incredible times, and unlike previous Spotlight events, this is a Spotlight event of a different sort. And we do really recognize how much students have been managing, along with staff, together with the new technologies and challenges that brings. So we want to really congratulate everyone for all the efforts that you have made to hang in there, keep up with us, and help us to keep up with you, to sort of keep in touch and keep you abreast of all the things that are changing around us at Roehampton, and support you through the process. So I would like, that's why I put a little something there at the beginning of that document, just by way of saying that there are people here who we want to acknowledge, but that doesn't mean that those that aren't mentioned also shouldn't have a mention as well. Those that aren't mentioned specifically, that is. So Sue,
Thank you, Mona, very much. Could I just ask you to move that up a tiny little bit? Because there's a couple of names at the bottom which just can't be seen, and I was just thinking that would enable me to only read the, perhaps read the first names out so it doesn't go on for too long. But really, in a nutshell, certainly in terms of starting with the group reps, thank you so much. We really appreciate your involvement and your time. It honestly is one of those things where we couldn't do it without you, because we absolutely need that feedback and we rely on it. And as Mona has said, particularly over the last few weeks, as we keep saying in these strange times, you know, people have really buckled down and been fantastically supportive and fantastically helpful. So the year 1 reps are Zara, Ran Harrison, Amina, Sabrina, Carolina and Kushbu. So we're going to thank them very much. Year 2 reps are Mitesh, Carly, Tayaba, Sana and Kimberly. And Sana and Kimberly's the combined honours programme. Sana has a special mention there for support in the programme revalidation consultation a while ago. So thank you very much for that in particular. And then year 3 reps, Orva and Emily, who are on the combined honours programme with early childhood studies. And then also Jodie, Hayat, Keela, Sabrina, Jawahir, Hafsa and Suvan. Thank you very much indeed. I don't know whether we're going to bang pots and pans or clap or whistle or just wave. I really don't mind. Personally, I'm going to clap because I want to say well done, even if it's just me on my own. But we really do, you know, as I say, appreciate your contribution very much indeed. But the list goes on, and over on the other page, there are students in each year who tutors, colleagues, other students have particularly mentioned for their contribution to the programme in a slightly different and specific way. So let me they're all listed here, but let me just give each person a little mention. Harrison, look, is the newly elected Vice President of Frobel College. That is worthy of a mention. So that is huge congratulations. That really, that is very exciting to hear. He's also student ambassador at Open Days, a really important role, and supported the programme revalidation. Again, that's a process where we really rely on student input. So thank you very much to Harrison for that. Chloe Staines, collegiality, really important, supporting colleagues during the crisis on a student support group. So, you know, that is a really important initiative to have taken, really, to set that up. So thank you. Lola Wells, thoughtfulness, positive support and engagement with the programme. That's wonderful. Thank you, Lola. And then Sadiqa Rashid and Marine Shamim for support with trialling online presentations. Quite challenging, and I think Lola was involved in this as well, but I think that involved volunteering at a time when perhaps people weren't, you know, feeling inclined to volunteer. So we really appreciated your involvement in that. Thank you. Year 2, Debbie Moses, student department rep, and support with programme revalidation. Debbie has been a fabulous example of representing students at board meetings for the Learning and Teaching Quality Group. Absolutely, she has. You know, that is a big meeting across the whole department, and we've really appreciated her contributions to that as the student departmental rep. Thank you very much. Nitesh Shah, enthusiastic support and engagement with the programme, Open Days, and programme revalidation. Fantastic. I love the way enthusiastic, by coincidentally being misspelt, has been underlined, but I rather like it being underlined. That's really important quality, and we value that very highly. Fatima Kura, support for Open Days and support with programme revalidation. Thank you very much for that, because these, you know, particularly on Open Days, you know, students want to hear from other students. That's really important. Natalia Senra for her commitment to academic excellence, well done for that, and her eagerness to maximise learning opportunities. Well, that is a lesson to us all. Thank you. Fabian Jasonson, President of Frobel College, another very important role, thank you very much. And Carly Evans, very supportive and engaged in the programme, that's wonderful. And then year 3, Emily Lane, consistently proactive as student rep with full attendance of programme boards for education and early childhood, very positive support of colleagues. You know, to actually be consistent in your support is really something that we value. That is great. Orva Albazi, consistently proactive as student rep, full attendance of programme boards for education and early childhood studies. Wonderful. Saskia Dalianchi, I'm not sure if I've said that right, apologies if I haven't. Support with programme revalidation and baby Ezra, right, that's lovely. Yes, congratulations and thank you. Congratulations for both of those things. Rebecca Louise Woodward, support with programme revalidation, that's great. You know, that's wonderful to have made that contribution, which will actually carry on after you leave. Thank you very much for that. Minnie Halinen, conscientious student and support with programme revalidation. Conscientious, hardworking, that's wonderful, we love that. Fardosa Ali Hussein, support with programme revalidation, very supportive of colleagues, well that's great. And positive engagement in the programme, wonderful, thank you. And then Shabada Moyo, support for programme revalidation and positive engagement, thank you. What I haven't said is that some of those people I know are here. So, you know, special thank you to you if you're here, but for all of the students who aren't here as well, I'm sure we'll be getting in touch with them to pass on our appreciation. But let's do another strange clapping, waving thing for all of those students. And, you know, thank you very much and really well done for your contribution to the programme. I wish we were all in the same room and I could give you a handshake, but hey, this is pretty good all the same. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sue.
It's a very nice job to have, I must say.
Oh,
yeah, very nice. Thank you.
well, it's really lovely to see all the comments that are congratulating each other, students to students, and it's fabulous. I want to really open up now for the remainder of what we have to give you a chance to say something to one another and to other staff here. Just to, you know, have that sort of party atmosphere and to enjoy hearing one another. And I know there are people here who may not have had a special mention, but actually you are all worthy of special mentions because you've all done a splendid job of keeping up with all these crazy things that have been happening and keeping on top of things and smiling throughout. So that's fantastic. I am trying to take a photo. Which is another challenge for me, but there we go. So please, you can unmute or mute. And I will try to do that in participants. I'll try to unmute you all. Now steady, don't all go wild. But let me see if I can I unmute everyone? I think you can unmute yourselves actually.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Can I jump in real quick and go first?
Oh, go.
Can I just say a big thank you to all my lecturers this year. You are amazing. I've learned so much. Shirley, you're a star. Arif, amazing. Carolina, Muna. Who else is there? Carrie, oh my God, rock star. Can I just say thank you so much. I've learned loads. You guys are brilliant and I can't wait to year 3. And if I haven't mentioned anyone, you're brilliant too. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I think, like, building on what Debbie said as well, I think all the tutors and all the staff have just worked, and the students have worked really well. And I think what we really like about the course as well is that all the tutors inspire. They help us engage. We wouldn't be as successful as we are now, all of us, if it wasn't for the tutors, if it wasn't for the kind of student colleagues on our course. So just thank you and well done to all of you guys as well.
Oh, thank you.
I'd like to say a huge thanks to everybody who has helped me, especially at the moment with what's going on. Everything that you've said has reassured me immensely and has made things much more positive for next year in terms of thinking about the support that you've given. If you can support me in this, then obviously you're definitely going to be able to support me for the next year. So I'm going to look at this positively. So thank you all. But I also want to say thank you to my cohort, so to my friends who have also helped me through this. You have all been such a massive impact, and I'm so proud to have met you. And I can't wait. I can't wait for next year.
Likewise, Carly.
Yeah, excellent. Wonderful.
Can I just say something?
Yes, please, Shirley, go ahead.
I'm just really sorry that we can't all be together with the year threes especially. I mean, I miss all of you every year, but the year threes, because you are coming to the end of your degree programme, and that feels especially sad that we can't be together. But I'm just really pleased with the way that everybody has just got on with stuff and come back to me and kept in contact, and you are so close now, so just keep going. You are nearly there, so I'm just really proud of you all. Well done.
Yeah, well said, Shirley. Absolutely well said.
I think the part I was just trying to write as I was listening to Shirley, year three, there's no reason why we can't just postpone the party.
Yeah,
and I think we should have one. We should have one. And I think keep in touch so that we can be sure that we have a party with our third year students.
Good idea, Mona. Good idea.
Do keep in touch. Absolutely, Sundar. Something on you, Harriet. Okay.
I can't get enough of you guys, so I'll hopefully I'll be back next year.
That's lovely. That's lovely. Can I just say one quick thing, and it may have been said already, but I would just like to thank Mona on everybody's behalf for organising this, even though it's a Zoom meeting and it doesn't involve putting out tables, chairs, tablecloths and everything. She's still done lots of work getting everybody together, organising this for you, telling everybody about it, getting everybody else along. You know, it's great for everybody to come. Thank you. But thanks, Mona, as well for doing it. It's felt like a great atmosphere, and you know, given that it is all this strange Zoom thing, it's still been fantastic. I think it's been really a really lovely event, you know, and very informative, but also really nice for people to just see each other, you know.
Well, it's a wonderful screen to look at the moment, where I can see colleagues and students, and I think that's something about our program specifically that I'm quite passionate about, that we are a real community, and you kind of see it on the computer screen. I was going to try and bring some, you know, music along and that, but knowing what technology is like, and it might start howling back, you know. So imagine, if you will. I think, you know, it is a beautiful kind of array of faces and smiles, and I think that's what this is all about. And if this has helped you, whether you're in year 1 or 2 or 3, to think about what you have experienced so far and what you can plan ahead, and seize the moment now to talk to colleagues and one another. That's brilliant. Oh, thank you.
Well done on your background changes, Mona.
Yeah, well, I didn't quite like the idea of a spotlight being on my head, so I decided to go with...
Should I just add something as well?
Oh, please do, Sundis. Go ahead.
I just would like to say, I think this is the last chance for us to see all of you together, guys, in here, even on the screen, as we will be graduating, and I don't think so I will be going further straight away. I might come back later, I'm not sure. So I just would like to say a big thank you, Shirley, Dorothy, Mona, Richard, you were amazing. I never ever forget and Carolina, sorry, if I forget the things, whoever was here. I was so pleased with my tutor's help. I was so pleased with my studies. I really enjoyed being a student in Roehampton University through those 3 years. It was amazing.
Brilliant.
We're very proud of you. We're
and
proud
I
of all our
brilliant student.
Harriet, as a friend for me, she was very supportive. I would like to say a big thank you for Harriet.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
That's wonderful. That's really, I mean, these are friendships that last, aren't they? That you've forged together in this experience. And also, Sundar, even if you don't come back for a degree, you can always come back and say hi.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I mean, down the road,
you can always keep in touch with us. We kind of, you know, we like to see our students. And yeah. So thank you. Go on, before we get all the tissues out, who else would like to? You're an amazing cohort. Each of you, you know, there are some real gems, and I think we're looking at them on screen now, and some who couldn't be with us for whatever reason. I mean, you know, it's very rewarding and satisfying to see our students. I think colleagues will agree, because we kind of go along the journey with you, don't we? And it's really wonderful to see how you do make that progress from each year. Hi, Angelica.
Hello.
How are you? Good to see you. Wow.
Hello.
Okay.
There's two Angelicas. They both said hello.
Well, that's a nice chorus anyway. Yeah. Anyone else want to say anything? Oh, love you, Carly. Oh, excuse me, but yes. Thank you for the comment. Okay. Oh, that's lovely. I think you can, you know, we've really, I think in challenging times, you can really see what you're made of, can't you? And it really tests and it brings out sides of people that for the better. And I think we've seen that in our students here and in the staff. I'm just amazed that we're Zooming. I would never have thought of Zooming previously. There's an admission. Might not be alone there, but I mean, you know, that's, and it's certainly been a very steep learning curve for staff and students, I think. I'm sure that, you know, there are some things that we're very excited about now, and we're thinking, wow, you know, this has really made us think about how we're using technology in our teaching and moving forward, how we might look again at things that previously we were not too keen on doing. So it's challenged some of us in terms of learning new skills. And yeah, definitely, I was so, and the reason I mentioned the collegiality, because I was really touched to see that students have been supporting each other in their groups, on their WhatsApp groups, to help each other along, you know, and that's been really another element of our community, of how students have been there for each other, and staff, you know, pulling out all the stops. I mean, you know, I know we're working from home, but everyone's juggling, aren't they? And it's just amazing to see how staff are doing that. And whether you've got a pond in the background, this is my local pond that I go to for my daily walks, if I can make it, or whether you've got sideway trees going on there.
I thought that was your back garden, Mona.
Oh, I wish. I didn't show you what that looks like. Although I've managed to do a spot of gardening for a change. So I'm yeah, as I think lots of people have discovered their gardens in this period where it's been very therapeutic. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining in. It's been really lovely. Hi, Anthony. Can I just say, Anthony, it's been nice to have you on the team this year. We haven't previously had you teaching on the programme, and I've heard some lovely things. So thank you very much for being part of the team this year.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed it. Thanks.
That doesn't mean I'm not saying thank you to the rest of the team. That's a given. but you know.
We will get offended, Mona, if you don't congratulate us individually. We will take this personally.
Well, we all have our different styles and different ways, but I think that adds to the melting pot that makes the program what it is. So thank you, everyone. And you've all been doing amazingly. You know, that's just great. Okay, thank you, Sevda. Thank you. Oh, and Bunty, thank you so much. It's been a real joy to have you on board too.
It's been a brilliant time. It really has. I'm just amazed how strong everybody's been. And it's just been incredible, you know, particularly the face-to-face meetings with students. Yeah, it's been lovely.
Oh. Well, thank you, everyone. I will try to see how long it takes for this recording to load up, and then I will upload it onto Moodle for everyone. If there's anything anyone wants to add at the last moment, I feel Shirley wants to say something, perhaps.
Well, no, I'm just leaning forward, but because I haven't got my glasses on at the moment. But no, I don't like to wear them. No, I just want to say to people in year 2, if you've got any questions about year 3, do get in touch with me, and I'm always really happy to ring you. I love to ring you and have a chat. I'm happy to ring anybody and have a chat. It really makes my day. So do email me and say, oh, Shirley, I've got a question about year 3. Please ring me, and I will be in 7th heaven, and we can chat about anything.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much, Shirley. And of course, if you're in year 1 and you've got queries about year 2, I'm sure Melissa would equally be happy to answer any queries you have. I'm hoping that you'll enjoy going through those modules and the slides. Yeah. And that if you have queries, do raise them. And module conveners too. Yeah. Oh, look, Carrie just got a kiss from Atticus. Isn't that lovely? Hi, Atticus. Oh, look, Julie there, look. Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be great from you.
You make me friends.
Great. Students.
Congratulations.
Oh.
No idea.
Oh, that's nice.
Finishes writing. He's got to write a book.
Oh, how lovely.
On and on. That's good. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care. Look after yourselves.
Bye,
Stay well.
Have a nice evening.
Bye.
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 Bye.